Hello, students. This is Mr. Lofton again, here to do Miss Chastain's second article that she sent out to you. I'm going to read through it. I'm going to try and show you some ways to maybe make this article a little bit easier to deal with. Remember, again, you can use. Let me show you my computer screen. You can use the Read and Write app up here. So, parents, students, if you're wanting some extra support, you can click on that. That's a purple puzzle piece that says RW, and then you can go up here and there's all sorts of things that it allows you to do. Hover speech is the one that I prefer because it's super easy to use. You just click on it and then put your mouse right over what you want to read.
Goat yoga enthusiasts come together in Washington.
And when you want it to stop, you can stop it. Click on it again, and you've got options over here as far as like settings, support. If you're wanting it to read a little bit faster, that's where you would go. If you want it to be a different type of voice, you could do that as well. So those are a couple things that I wanted to let you know about. Again, when you click on this article, it should pop up at the max level, the max reading level. I'm going to go ahead and take it down to 820, but whatever Lexile level you feel comfortable reading at is fine. But the one I'm going to be reading at is 820 if you wish to follow along. Okay? So the name of this article is the Goat Yoga Enthusiasts Come Together in Washington Cemetery. Okay? So I'm guessing based on the picture, they're talking about actual goats, not like the greatest of all time. So they're talking about the animal goat. The caption of the picture says, "A goat scampers in front of Susan Coursey and Judy Goodstein during a goat yoga session on May 18, 2019 at the Congressional Cemetery in Washington, D.C. This article is from last June, it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read this, and then I'm going to go through some of the questions and maybe give you a little bit extra support in thinking about how to maybe go about those questions and what they're asking about, okay? So, Washington, D.C. A gentle breeze blew through the Congressional Cemetery in southeast Washington, D.C. It was a balmy Saturday morning, and the mood was solemn, except for the bleating of at least 15 baby goats. Okay, so already in that first paragraph, there's some kind of odd words. Balmy, you'll notice this word here. Balmy means hot. Solemn, that word means serious. And the word bleating, that's like the sound that a goat makes. So when a goat makes a goat sound, it's called bleating. They were there, of course, for yoga. It was the first goat yoga class offered in Washington. People practiced yoga while baby goats wandered among them. The goats even climbed on people. The idea for goat yoga started in 2016 in Oregon at a birthday party. It was never meant to be a thing, but now it's a thing. Paul Williams is the director of the cemetery, and he says goat yoga was a long time coming. Until recently, Washington law had a long-standing no-touching goats policy. Stumbling blocks. I tried everything I could for about a year to get goat yoga, Williams said. The health department put up every stumbling block they possibly could, he added. The city council's health committee was already weeding out unnecessary laws. The council passed a bill that allows goats and sheep into Washington. The animals could be used for, among other things, participating in yoga or similar activities. Goats still need a special permit and vaccinations. They must be inspected by a veterinarian within 30 days of an event, according to Vito Del Vinto. He runs the health department's Board of Veterinary Medicine. This leaves a narrow window for goat yoga. Baby goats must be old enough to be vaccinated, yet they must still be small enough to comfortably climb on people. It took 2 years to get goat yoga approved, and all that work paid off Saturday. The universe gave us this gorgeous day in this beautiful place, said yoga instructor Kelly Carnes. She stood in a clearing and spoke to the first 50 goat yoga participants. All 5 opening weekend sessions sold out. The proceeds will go to the nonprofit that runs the cemetery, Williams said. Poses give goats a chance to crawl over participants. Carnes led each group through some gentle yoga poses. She selected poses that would give the baby goats a chance to crawl over the participants. That's part of the fun, right? She said. I'm so blissed out, said Rachel Holmes of Washington, who brought her mother. I feel like you're a little bit more inward usually with regular yoga, and this sort of opens you up to what's going on in nature around you. Plus, they're soft and cuddly. Beth Horowitz summed up the appeal of the event. I love cemeteries. I love yoga. I love animals. So, I could not miss this, she said. Goes too far, critics say. So, if I'm guessing, this next section is going to be all about the negative aspects of goat yoga. So far, they've talked about the good things, so this will be one talking about the negative things. So, if we have questions that we have to answer about why maybe goat yoga isn't all that it's cracked up to be, then this is the section where we will get that information. However, critics of goat yoga says it goes too far and is not real yoga. Yoga needs a lot of effort, says Viswantha Gupta, a researcher at the Hathawa Yoga Project in London. It's not doing some poses and playing with animals. David Gordon White teaches religious studies at the University of California at Santa Barbara. He agreed with Gupta. Yoga involves concentration. I find it hard to fathom how you could be concentrated on anything when baby goats are running around. For yoga instructor Carnes, it's simpler. If it's a thing that brings people joy, then why not? She said. Being in the present moment, in nature. The goats belong to Mary Bowen. She said that interacting with animals can be good for people. It can help people connect and be in the present moment. She referred to research on the topic out of Colorado State University. If you really notice, Bowen said after the cemetery's first class wrapped up, it's not about yoga. These people really want the baby goats to hold. Williams said there were immediate calls to schedule another session. He reminded people that he also has a cemetery to run. Working on a date, he wrote in an email, but not sure we'll have the staff to pull off another weekend. Lots of funerals coming up. Okay, so I'm going to go now to where we have the questions that this article will be asking about. So the first question is, according to the article, how does goat yoga work? A, people do yoga poses while baby goats crawl on them. B, people pet goats after doing a regular yoga class. C, people do yoga to raise money for baby goat vaccinations. D, people show goats how to do simple yoga poses. So was this about showing goats how to do yoga? Was it about goats interacting with people after you have exercised? Was it about goats crawling over you while you're doing yoga? Or was it about raising money for baby goat vaccinations? So 4 very different things that they're asking. Okay? It's really just wanting you to say what is the best explanation of what goat yoga is. Okay? So which of those is the best answer? Number 2, what effect has goat yoga had on Viswantha Gupta and David Gordon White? A, Gupta thinks goat yoga is not real, but Gordon White sees it as good for concentration. B, Gupta enjoys how fun goat yoga is, but Gordon White thinks it is too easy. C, they both see the potential for goat yoga to bring joy to people of all ages. Or D, they both believe goat yoga is distracting and does not represent real yoga. So again, as I showed you in the first video, maybe a good strategy to use would be hit Control F, and you will see that a text box pops up and you can actually type in keywords. So if they're asking about 2 specific people, you can just type in part of their name or their whole name, so we need to figure out what these two people thought. It's essentially asking which of these guys was for it, who thought it was bad. You know, did one of them think it was good? Did one of them think it was bad? So if you type in Control F and then you type in Gordon, that's this guy's name, or it's one of the parts of his name. There's 4 mentions of this guy Gordon. Okay, so you can kind of click through all 4 of the mentions of him. One of them is in this very question. You can see him there, and you can see him in these 2 questions. So really, he's mentioned once in this article. So what did this Gordon guy, this David Gordon White guy, think of goat yoga? And then it also asks about the other guy, Gupta. I'm not going to try and type his first name. Okay, so he is mentioned 5 times. I'm guessing a lot of that is in the article's questions here. So the first time he is mentioned is in that last article there. He's also mentioned in that next line. But then the other 3 times are just in that question that we're on, okay? So I would go back and I would reread those. I would reread that one section where it talks about these 2 guys. Number 3, when did interest in goat yoga begin? How do you know? Okay, so we would again have to go back and think about when they're explaining goat yoga and how it came to be, where did it start? A, on a recent Saturday. It was a balmy Saturday morning and the mood was solemn except for the bleating of at least 15 baby goats. B, in 2016, the idea for goat yoga started in 2016 in Oregon at a birthday party. C, when Williams took charge of the Congressional Cemetery, Paul Williams is the director of the cemetery, and he says goat yoga was a long time coming. Or D, on a recent Saturday, it took 2 years to get goat yoga approved, and all that work paid off Saturday. So which one explains when did the interest in goat yoga began? And then it once, how do you know? That's the part where it's in quotation marks. So choose the best answer on that one. Read the section stumbling blocks. Okay, so back up here in the article, stumbling blocks is this paragraph here. Okay, so it wants you to just reread this part. Forget about the whole rest of the article and just focus on that. Which selection from this section shows why goat yoga is permitted now in Washington, D.C.? A, I tried everything I could for about a year to get goat yoga, Williams said. The health department put up every stumbling block they possibly could, he added. B, the council passed a bill that allows goats and sheep into Washington. The animals could be used for, among other things, participating in yoga or similar activities. C, he runs the health department's board of veterinary medicine. This leaves a narrow window for goat yoga. D, the universe gave us this gorgeous day in this beautiful place, says yoga instructor Kelly Carnes. She stood in a clearing and spoke to the first 50 goat yoga participants. Okay, that has brought us to the end of this article and the questions. So if you guys go ahead and complete that and turn in the answers to Miss Chastain, she'll give you some feedback on that. I hope these videos are helping you guys. I hope reading through this and maybe talking through a little bit, maybe talking about some of the vocab in there is helping you out. And again, I miss you guys, and I hope you guys are safe and taking care of yourselves and practicing good social distancing and all that. So until next time, I'll see you later.